I don't think you need mine. That's good to know I can do that though.
Live. All the news is new and improved. We're live to tape. Cloud Brothers, Cloud Brothers. Like and subscribe for more quality content like this. Don't forget to hit that notification bell.
Bringing the heat. I can't see us.
Oh, you can't see us? Hold on. Hold on. I got a plan. There you go. You should be able to see
now I can see us. Just like that. Make it so.
I forgot to start the virtual camera.
Oh.
So, this week we are looking at, we did our EKS, our work through of a tutorial. It's not a tutorial. We're not telling you how to do it, but you can find, where can people find this tutorial? Right in AWS, or it says
it's EKS Workshop. They can find it in the description after they subscribe. They can only find it if they subscribe, though.
Yeah, you can only access this if you subscribe to the Cloud Brothers YouTube channel. That's a fact. We wouldn't make things like that up.
No.
But eksworkshop.com/beginners/060_helm/ and that's a secret
the last
code.
One you got it installed last week.
We did get it installed last week, so I have it going. I might have to do a teardown again, but whatever. So we're here to learn about Helm this week and go through a Helm tutorial. What's Helm?
What the Helm is Helm?
Well, Helm. So thank you for asking. It's a very good question. It says here, Helm is a package manager for Kubernetes that packages multiple Kubernetes resources into a single logical deployment unit called a chart. Charts are easy to create, version, share, and publish. In this chapter, we'll cover installing Helm. Once installed, we'll demonstrate how Helm can be used to deploy a simple NGINX, I have no idea how to say that, web server, and a more sophisticated microservice. I'm just going to presume the first N is silent and call it Jinx.
No, that's not correct. It's Nginx.
Oh, it's Nginx?
Yeah,
that makes sense. Thing. Yeah, it's supposed to be engine. There's
it's a web server.
Yeah,
like it says there, because there's two different web servers. There's Apache web server and Nginx web server. But very cool.
Yeah, and here's the logo for Helm, which looks like the helm of a ship, which is probably not a coincidence.
Well, you know what Kubernetes is, right?
What is Kubernetes? Microservices?
No,
is this a joke?
Word. No, it's not a joke. I'm not setting you up. Kubernetes. No.
Well, I do, but tell me what.
Kubernetes is like, it's like the actual name of some job, a shipping job. Look up what is Kubernetes means. Google it. Kubernetes? Or is it Docker? No. What am I thinking? What am I thinking of?
You're probably thinking of Docker. Ancient Greek, the name Kubernetes stems from an ancient Greek word for helmsman, someone who steers a ship.
Yeah. So helmsman. Oh, okay. I didn't know that's just a short form. Helm is short for helmsman. There you go.
Well, you didn't know that? Yeah.
There's a little bit of nerd knowledge for you.
Yeah.
Here's a ship, like a container ship.
Reid McCluckley and team originally intended to call Kubernetes Technology Project 7, named after 7 of 9 from the Borg Collective. Yeah. And that's interesting. We could probably...
Yeah, we can go on and go down that rabbit hole.
Deep. Okay, so let's go to the next slide.
Next slide, please.
Introduction. Helm is I just said that. Helm helps you to achieve a simple one command and repeatable deployment. Manage application dependency using specific versions of other application and services. Manage multiple deployment configurations. Test, staging, production, and others. Execute post/pre-deployment jobs during application deployment, update, rollback, and test application deployments.
What else do you need?
Nothing much. Before we can get started, we'll need to first install the command line tools that you will interact to do this. Run the following. So, okay.
Where'd your terminal go?
Oh, you gotta make. That's not what I want.
This is cool, hey? I've never used this all that much.
Okay, let's go here. New terminal. So before we can get started, we need to install the command line tools that you'll interact with. To do this, run the following. Make sure you see the words copied to clipboard.
Looks good.
Helm is installed. We can verify the version. Version 3.72 star, all that. Huh?
Say dash short or dash short?
It's a dash short.
Short, okay.
Nope, it's not a chart. Let's configure our first chart repository. Chart repositories are similar to APT or Yum repositories that you might be familiar with on Linux or Task for Homebrew on Mac OS. Download the stable repository so we have something to start with. Yes, sir. Stable has been added to your repositories. Once this is installed, we'll be able to see or to list the charts you can install. Helm search repo. Oops. Helm search repo table. Whoa! That is
all the charts you can get.
That is a lot. Scroll up forever.
Yeah. How long was that to get that?
1/16th of a second. Like from when I entered the code. Helm search repo stable. Finally, let's configure bash completion for the Helm command.
Yeah. You know what bash completion is?
What's bash completion? Explain it to me.
Bash completion is you just start typing words and you hit tab and it figures out what command you're trying to enter.
Oh, yeah. Like when you type in a Google search and it fills in for you.
Yeah, except for Linux.
Yeah, gotcha. Deploy Nginx with Helm. That's what's on the next page. In this chapter, we will dig deeper with Helm and demonstrate how to install the Nginx web server via the following steps. Update the chart repository, search chart repositories, add the Bitnami repository. Are we going to play a video game? Install Bitnami Nginx and clean up.
Bitnami makes a shit ton. Delete that out. Of repositories.
Okay.
You remember what's that thing in AWS where you can make something just out of the box, super simple. It's like one of the first things I show you. I don't remember it right now, but they have a lot of Bitnami images.
AMI?
No,
the template. I know you're talking about.
I can't remember now. It's super. It's like you don't use it once you know what an AMI is. It's one of those things. It's like the first introduction to the cloud.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
I follow what you're saying.
Yeah,
but I also don't remember what it's called. I know what you're talking about, but
yeah. It's like one of those things that doesn't matter anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, but I digress. Happy
Helming. I forgot. Yep.
Can you do? Can you scroll up or do clear? I'm blocking out.
Oh yeah. You can't really see.
My big head is blocking stuff out.
Yeah. Okay. So on my side of the screen, up here, it says Helm uses a packaging format called charts. It can be simple, describing something like a standalone web server, which is what we are going to create. Ooh, but they can also be more complex. For example, a chart represents a full web app stack, including web servers, databases, proxies, etc. Instead of installing Kubernetes resources manually, via a kubectl, one could use Helm to install predefined charts faster with less chance of typos or other operator errors. Chart repositories change frequently due to updates and new additions. To keep Helm's local list updated with all these changes, we need to occasionally run the repository command to update Helm's local list of charts run. I think I just said that. Did I?
If you do a
Yes.
if you do a history, you'll see it.
Oh, you just. Why is it typing in 2 spaces?
I don't know. It's weird. It didn't clear properly.
Oh yeah, look at that. Very weird. What? What? What the what?
Yeah. Yeah. Just hit it.
Oh, that was bash completion.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That's weird, eh? That's new. It's funky. And you're not drunk. It's actually doing it.
And
Probably, if you refreshed it, it would probably go away. But whatever, doesn't matter.
I don't really care. And you should see something similar to hang tight.
I believe you did.
Whatever. Oh yeah, and you said happy helming, but I don't see it in the history. It's fine. I'll watch the video back later.
So you ran that repo update?
I did.
Okay.
I can do it again.
No, it's fine.
Helm search repo. Search for charts. Yeah, I haven't done this yet. Helm search
I haven't
repo.
done that. Whoa.
Yeah. A lot.
It's not
Okay,
useful.
that you should see similar to blah 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 blah. Helm search repo. Helm search repo Nginx. It's behind you.
Yeah, it's behind me all the time.
It's weird. For further information on the command, it can be found here.
Yeah, I did that thing where it's going to the same page.
Okay, let's just here. Hey, yeah, I know he's Kojiko. Okay, so Helm repo add bitnami.
Yeah. They do have AMIs in Marketplace, by the way. A bunch of bit.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Once that's complete, we can search all the bitnami charts, which results in.
Interesting. That's kind of interesting about Helm is you don't really need to know Helm. You need to know the Helm ecosystem. Once you know the Helm ecosystem, seems pretty easy.
Yeah, that's what that fellow Tim told me, was that it's more of a framework.
Yeah. Like you don't really know what Kubernetes is doing. You're just letting Helm figure it out. This is what I want.
Yep. And it reminds me of learning JavaScript the hard way. Because they show you, like, they start you the old way, like, so you know what the back end is doing.
Yeah,
and then they start to show you object-oriented programming. And then it gets, like...
OP. Are you down with OP?
Yep. Are you down with OPP?
You down with
OOP?
You're down with OOP.
Am I down with OPP?
OOP.
OOP?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know me.
Where were I? Forgot.
Helm search repo Nginx. And then we were seeing more Nginx options across both repositories.
Okay.
Deprecated. Yeah. It's just it looks different because I'm not going across my whole screen.
Yeah. Just different versions of Nginx that it has in that repo.
Yeah, and then which you could do this, which narrows it down more, it says, unless I copied and pasted. No, yeah, it does. So it's just bitnami for this. The Jersey,
It's bitnami and then Nginx, but that's what you want, right?
In both of the last two searches, we see this bitnami Nginx, And as a result, that's the one we're looking for. So let's use Helm to install it to the EKS cluster. I said, let's use Helm to install to the EKS cluster.
Weird. It's weird how it does that.
A Helm chart can be installed multiple times inside a Kubernetes cluster. This is because each installation of a chart can be customized to suit a different purpose. For this reason, you must supply a unique name for the installation or ask Helm to generate a name for you. How can you use Helm to deploy the Bitnami Nginx chart? Hint, use the Helm utility to install.
It's not really a hint.
That's information. It specified the name of my web server. I've got a hint for you about what 2 plus 2 equals, and it's 4.
Yeah.
And specified the name of my web server for the Kubernetes deployment, consult the Helm install documentation, blah, blah, blah. Expand here to see. Oh, I see. There's a solution here.
Yeah.
I got you.
You're supposed to test yourself. Well, we're not into testing ourselves. We're just walking through.
Yeah.
This is called a walkthrough.
Yeah. You know what's awesome if you're playing a story-based video game?
What's that?
Put it on easy mode. There's
Yeah.
people like, I just want to do normal because I'm good at this, but I want to watch the story.
Yeah.
Put it on easy mode. Or watch the YouTube of it. Okay, so
So what's the thing say there?
where? Here?
You got,
Or
it
here.
looks like the same. Yeah, it looks the same.
Nginx can be, Nginx can be accessed through the following DNS name from within your cluster. This one.
Yeah.
Port 80. Yeah, that looks good. In order to review the underlying Kubernetes service pods and deployments run, I said, in order to review the underlying Kubernetes service pods and deployments run, that
Nice.
looks like it worked. Just
Yeah.
here. Put it back. The first object shown in this output is a deployment. A deployment object manages rollouts and rollbacks of different versions of an application. You can inspect this deployment object in more detail by running the following command. You can inspect the deployment in more detail by running the following command. The next object shown created by the chart is a pod. A pod is a group of one or more containers. So
Yeah, that's a Kubernetes thing. Pods.
Gotcha. Yeah, of course. To verify the pod object was successfully deployed, we can run the following command. Haha! Nailed it.
Nice.
That's exactly what I wanted to see.
All right. What's next?
The third object that this chart creates for us is a service. A service enables us to contact the Nginx web server from the internet via an elastic load balancer. To get complete URL of this service, run to get complete URL of the service, run kubekettle get service. Oh, I like that one. Kubekettle. That's a fine kettle of fish.
Kubekettle, you're gonna get yourself in kettle of fish using Kubernetes. Okay, so should see something like that. Now, one of the things, actually, yeah, there it goes. Tells you
That
the
should
next thing.
output something like this: my web server load balancer, blah blah blah, whatever. It's going to be different, obviously.
Yeah.
Age Kubernetes Nginx. Yeah, sure. Okay.
So it tells you. And then wait! Don't skip by stuff. Skip by something.
Did no such thing.
The external IP.
Oh, so I did.
Right underneath,
Yeah, you're right.
right underneath the black part. There's a step that's not in the black part.
Hold
So
on.
take the.
Hold on.
It says take the external IP, but you can take the IP or the DNS. Both will work. What are you after?
Well, I'm just making sure that I ran the last command.
Yeah, that's just giving you output of your service.
So it's saying copy the value for the external IP.
Yeah.
Is
If
here.
you might want to,
Right?
that's the DNS. The external IP is the one thing left to it, but that will work. What you just did will work, but that's the DNS. The external IP. If you make that wide,
Oh,
yeah,
that's the
that's
external
IP.
IP.
They'll both work though.
They'll both
What
work?
you did would also work. They'll both work. Oh, it's not coming up. How come?
I don't know.
It should be working. Try the DNS. Maybe the DNS or the what you had first would probably work. The load
Copy
balance.
value for the external dash IP. That says a cluster IP.
Yeah. Try the DNS will probably work if the IP doesn't. Actually, that makes more sense.
I don't think it'll work either.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it does. No, it does. It did. It worked.
Yeah, there you go.
If you see this page, the Nginx web server is successfully installed and working. Further configuration is required. Yeah.
Yeah. You need that on your soundboard.
No, yeah, I don't have my soundboard active.
So
Still busy doing other stuff.
hold the step.
Oh, it may take a couple of minutes for the ELB and its associated DNS to become available. If you get an error, wait 1 minute and hit reload. So let's check to see
Try the IP number again.
if the IP works now. Because remember, the DNS didn't work for a second either.
Yeah, correct.
But maybe, yeah, I don't know. It's a bit weird.
The
Though.
way that the load balance, it's kind of how the load balancer is designed. You're not supposed to expose your external IP address. It's supposed to have a DNS, and then your IP address doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, that's fair. Like that's the
can't-
idea.
That's the whole idea of it. Like you shouldn't be able to access it from an IP address. So
Actually, that makes sense. Copy the value and paste it in. When the service does come online, you should see a message similar to this, but we just use the DNS name.
so that would be like a comment that if they allowed comments in there.
Yeah, just go. I didn't do that, but I did the other thing.
That worked.
The LB and the whatever.
Put that in there for a test. Anyway, that's cool. So, so that's a web server, by the way.
Yep.
So if you made your own HTML and your own pictures and all that crap and installed it onto that server, that would be a running web server.
Noise. Yeah. So, challenge. Installing Bitnami, a standalone chart involves using the Helm install command. A Helm chart can be installed multiple times inside a Kubernetes cluster. This is because each installation of a chart can be customized to suit a different purpose. For this reason, you must supply a unique name for the installation or ask Helm to generate a name for you. How can you use Helm to deploy the Bitnami Nginx chart?
You did this already. You read this like 2 minutes ago or 5 minutes ago.
I did?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you did all this. What the bitty boop. Okay.
Yeah.
Now before we uninstall our application. Oh, so I did it. So that was the elastic load balancer bouncing around.
It's like that. So for me, if I wanted to do a next level for this,
yes,
I would do like a hello world on the Nginx page. So instead of the default Nginx page, you actually have a page that you create that just says hello world.
I don't think we're done yet though. This is cleanup because there's deploy example. We're not done with Helm yet.
Okay.
Now list. This is just cleanup I should see blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Kind of do. So then I'm gonna Helm uninstall. Uninstalling this web server. That's fine. So sad.
Yeah.
Goodbye, web server. Oh, that didn't work. Womp womp. Release my web server uninstalled. Okay, that's a fine cube kettle of fish you've gotten yourself into. With that, cleanup is complete. All right.
Yeah.
All right. We know what's next. Deploy example microservices using Helm. In this chapter, we will demonstrate how to deploy microservices using a custom Helm chart instead of doing everything manually. Using kubectl. And now I'm just being offensive to because
Everybody, you
Helm
should do it. We're looking for comments. You should just say how many times in the comments you say it wrong.
Yeah, you should yes. A capital. There. That's my new name for it. For detailed information on working, I've probably said it wrong every single time I've said it on this recording. Okay, Helm charts have a similar structure to the way that I think, apparently, which is weird.
That's a fairly common thing with templates.
Oh, it's normal. Like, of course it is. We'll follow this template and create a new chart called EKS demo with the following commands.
I think the chart, the capital C chart YAML, I think it has to be capital C for some reason.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why I think that, but.
All right. Okay.
Yeah,
We did that. We did that first part.
Yeah.
What?
My defaults. Oh no, if we look at, it's just explaining all the files.
Oh, I see. So charts, subcharts, information about your chart, default values for your templates, template files, basic manifest for creating Kubernetes deployment objects used to define Go template helpers, basic manifest for creating Kubernetes horizontal pod autoscaler objects. That's a mouthful. Basic manifest for creating Kubernetes ingress objects. Plain text file to give users detailed information about how to use the newly installed chart. Basic manifest for creating Kubernetes service account objects. Basic manifest for creating Kubernetes service objects. Directory of test files. And tests that validate your chart works as expected when it is installed. We're actually going to create your own files, so we'll delete these boilerplate files. Fine.
Screw you, files.
So long, suckers. All right. Run the following code block to create a new chart.yaml file, which will describe.
Yeah. No.
Which will womp womp, which will describe the chart. Fair enough. Next, we'll copy the manifest.
Wait. Do you know what that just did?
Well, it said it will create a new chart.yaml file, which will describe the chart. So it made a file.
Yeah. That EOF thing. The EOF, I don't know what EOF stands for, but the EOF open and the EOF close is how it makes a file. And the carets in the front, or the minus sign, or the less than signs in the front, they actually mean something. Like there's different, if there's 3 of them, it means something. If there's,
okay.
Yeah. Anyway, that's important. That EOF thing is an important thing to recognize. That's all.
Yeah, EOF is like funny. I didn't. I thought it meant end of file, but obviously it doesn't mean that if it's at the beginning of the file.
That might be what it means. I have no idea.
And then cat I've seen the cat command before in something else, but I can't remember where.
Yeah, cat is just like catalog, just output.
Oh yeah, catalog. That's what it is. Okay,
Yeah.
so I did do that one. That's the one I just did, right? The cat.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, so next we'll copy the manifest files for each of our microservices into the templates. Okay, yeah. So we will go here, then we'll go here. That looked like it worked.
Yeah, no red. I didn't see any red, except for my shirt.
Replace hard-coded values with template directives. All the files in templates directory are sent through the template engine. These are currently plain YAML files that would be sent to Kubernetes access. Then replace hard-coded values with template directives to enable more customization by removing hard-coded values. So open the environment, or it says open environment, blah, blah, blah. Huh? I don't get that. What's that mean?
That's your root directory. Open that little tilde thing means your root directory. So if you go to your terminal and explore your files, actually you can kind of tell where it is too. If you go to here, should I refresh that? AWS Crystal demo. I don't know where that is actually. EKS demo. EKS demo. That's not in your
Right here?
yeah, there it is, yeah. That's the structure. And then templates. And then deployment. And then front end. And just open that one. That's what it's telling you to open.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So it's saying following steps should be completed separately for front-end.yaml, crystal.yaml, and node.js.yaml. So I'm in front-end.yaml. Under spec, replicas 1, replace it with the following.
Yeah, so that's line 9. No, not the whole thing. Not the whole line, just the value. Go up, so yeah.
So it's telling me...
Oh yeah, you can replace the whole line, but
that's what it's saying, because it's saying replicas. Like,
yeah, but all you're doing is you could take the values part, the variable part, and just put the variable part in the end. It does the same thing. But you can copy and paste the whole line. That's what it's saying to do. So do that.
So what I will do is do this.
Yeah.
And then under spec template,
you can delete the space. So like delete line 10.
Oh yeah.
It's just a formatting thing.
I hadn't been looking at it because it's saying that the following should be completed separately for these 3 things, but I'm just doing one thing at a time.
So crystal YAML is the next one. No, you got to do crystal YAML.
Under spec.template, spec containers image, replace the image with the correct template from the value below. Oh, I see. But I still have to do this in here and then go to these.
Yeah, it says the following steps completed separately from front end YAML, crystal YAML, and Node.js YAML. So you got to open all 3 of those. So in the deployment folder, open all 3 of the files that are in the deployment folder. All of the YAML files.
Well, yeah, but I'm in here now. I don't need to. It's saying here.
Oh, you're just gonna do one at a time? Yeah, okay.
Well, yeah, I'm already in this window, so I'm not gonna. I don't need to go. Then I'll go because I already had front end open. I'll just do one at a time. Now I have Crystal open.
You still have to do the thing for the replicas on this one.
Oh, I see. I got you. It makes sense. I got you. I'm following. So while I'm in here, I'll do this.
Yeah. Correct. Again,
Over here.
doing them one at a time makes sense. You just got to do two things.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, so then, so I've done two things in there, and now I have to do Node.js as well.
You haven't saved anything as well.
Okay, so I will go replicas. Boom. And then I've got to copy this over the first image, or this image. Boom.
There's this probably file save all. I'd imagine. Yeah, save all. No, save all.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Now next.
Okay. So run the following code block to populate our template directives with default values.
Oh, I see. You just erased those things and now it's putting them back in as variables. It's hilarious.
What do you mean? Where do you see that?
Well, you just erased Bentley from each one of the files, and now you're adding it back in as a variable. So what you're doing is you deleted a hard coded value.
Oh,
and you're
yeah.
putting it back in as variables.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing.
Default values for EKS Helm. This is a YAML formatted file. Declare variables to pass into your templates.
Yeah, and that's what those were before you changed them.
Yep.
Done.
Done. Clear. Okay. Now use the dry run flag to test our templates.
Alrighty then.
To test the syntax and validity of the chart without actually deploying it, we'll use the dry run flag. Oh, okay. The following command will build and output the rendered templates without installing the chart.
Nice. Oh, look at that shit. I mean,
wow.
Stuff. How many? It doesn't show you how many lines in that. That's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot. Now that we've tested our chart, let's install it. And I'll just do it clear. And let's install it.
I think this is pretty quick.
Let's debug.
Because this is Microsoft or microservices.
Yeah.
Because it's microservices, I think it goes pretty quick.
Name workshop last deployed. Okay. Namespace default. Status deployed revision 1. Test suite none. Yeah, that's exactly what it says. In order to review the underlying services, pods, and deployments run. That.
Oh, look at that. So this is way easier than anything I showed you at the beginning.
Yeah, well, that's the idea, I think. So to test the service our EKS demo chart created, we'll need to get the name of the ELB endpoint that was generated when we deployed the chart. So kubectl gets svc front end JSON path load balancer blah blah blah.
Nice. That's a useful command. You should keep that in your clipboard somewhere.
Sure is. Okay, so now copy that address and paste it into a new tab in your browser, which is this one, I suppose. Right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, now let's look in our
should do the same thing as the first demo.
There you go. And that's working. Yeah. Rails front end, Node.js back end, blah blah blah.
Kind of crazy.
And so as you can see, Helm with its charts is I can see why people like it.
That was about 20 minutes.
Of actual yeah, it's true.
And that's not having any idea what you're doing.
Well, and we've recorded our recording is sitting at 40 minutes but we
it's good. 30 minutes.
It's fast.
That's the
amazing.
fastest.
So
Yeah.
yeah, and so it's just bouncing around to the different. So that's the Crystal backend, the Node.js backend, and then it's obviously load balancing. But before I have it,
Each one's load balanced.
well, yeah, absolutely. But it's just
Yeah.
showing that it's going from, you know, different
Yeah.
ACs over there.
Turn it off. It's giving me a
Yeah,
seizure.
yeah, me too. Yeah, it was making me nervous. But yeah, you
Uh,
could see that. So
yeah. Cool.
it's so basically it was doing that, like we hoped, like I hoped.
I think it's the same one that we did like manually with Kubernetes
Yeah,
last,
with
like
the
the first ones.
EKS tutorials. So that's definitely
Yeah.
way easier.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
way easier.
okay, so we want to roll back though. Um, so mistakes will happen during deployment. When they do, Helm makes it easy to undo. That's one thing I really like about what I hear about Helm, is that you
Yeah.
can undo the previously deployed version.
Yeah.
If I remember reading right, it's certain versions of it, it doesn't exactly work. Like it changed from one version to another. So
Yeah.
you got to be mindful of which version of Helm you're
Which
using.
version you're using? Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I'd want to know that going in.
Yeah, it's just something I read when it because I believe I downloaded it on the desktop here. And it just was like it was just a warning that popped up. Oh, yeah, it was. I was gonna say it could have been Docker, but no, it was Helm for sure. Yeah, see, so deploy the updated demo application chart. The rolling upgrade will begin by creating a new Node.js pod with a new image. Pod should fail to pull non-existing image. Run qbuild get pods to see the image pull back off error. So we're creating an error on purpose. Is that right?
No, I think it fixed it already. Or are we pulling? What's this? Maybe we are. You don't have the same status. You don't have anything broken. It
It's
worked.
because I'm too good, man.
The Helm upgrade worked. Doesn't say the rollback. I don't know what's going on here.
How do I fake it? Let me try this again. Oh.
We missed something.
Open values. .yaml.
Oh,
Where
yeah,
is
okay.
it?
Right there.
And change and modify the image name under Node.js image to this.
Oh, yeah. I think you can call it anything, but yeah.
Right?
See,
And then I go
I
file.
don't like that. I don't like that. You got to make all your documentation where you do stuff stand out.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Or you should have a copy button. Like it should just be consistent.
Yeah.
This
Exactly.
image does not exist, so it'll break our deployment. Okay, so where'd my terminal go?
Where did your terminal go? There it is.
So then I'll do this again. Thanks. Okay, now I'm gonna type qbuild get pods.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, so I got in. It doesn't say the same thing, but it says error image pull.
Yeah.
So run Helm status workshop. I said run Helm status workshop. Vision 3 roll back.
Just,
that's weird.
yeah, I think they, was it correspond? What does that say? Like there's stuff missing, right?
Yeah, so I'd want to go to
Those two things just say hit.
these are identical.
Yeah.
So if I do this, it should give, like, I'm going to copy and paste it just to see what happens. But it
Yeah.
should just say the same thing.
Unless it rolled back.
Oh, no, it doesn't. Huh.
It rolled back. So
Well,
what
no,
happened?
it's giving me, so it's giving me the 1, 2, 3, right? So 140, and it's for some reason, it must be the availability zone I'm using.
Can't see any.
Superseded, deployed,
Can't
Helm
see anything.
rollback workshop 1. I know. So I want to go Helm. I don't need to write it. What am I doing? Amateurs. Here we go. Rollback was a success. Happy helming. So
You
now,
put the roll back to first revision. Is that what you typed?
nope. Yeah, no, I typed
What did you type?
roll.
Confused.
I didn't type nothing. I typed Helm rollback workshop 1. It just did it automatically. I copy and
Can't see that.
paste.
Oh yeah. Yeah, okay. See it.
Okay, so now I do this. And it should all be normal again. No
So how
error.
did you
No
know?
error.
How did you know that it was workshop 1? Does that just mean you roll back 1 revision?
Well, yeah,
Why is it 1?
because look, Helm history workshop. Right?
Oh, I see. So you could go back to, if you wanted, you could do
I could go
roll
back to
back.
I could go back to the error, right? So if I go Helm, I'll just type it in for fun. Helm rollback workshop 3. Okay, now I'll go do this cube kettle pods, and I get the error,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Then
So
if I go hold on, if I go Helm history rollback 5, or sorry, that's wrong. Helm rollback workshop 5, which was a rollback,
yeah, it'll work.
and then do this. It's a rollback to a rollback, but it should still theoretically work in my opinion.
Work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See?
So it's like a GitHub version kind of thing.
Yeah, it's version control on
Yeah.
a Kubernetes microservices management system, and
That's
I can see why people like this. This is really like
it's easy to understand. That's for
yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
All
At
right.
that point, let's see what's next.
All
All right. Let's see what's next. Clean up.
right. Oh, there we go. Done.
Womp womp womp.
Nice.
So that's pretty good. Health checks, auto scaling.
There was one I was gonna look. I don't know if we want to do it today, but at least look at it today. In the advanced one or the intermediate one, go through the intermediate one.
Wow.
Those all are those all intermediate? Yeah, click on intermediate. CI/CD with code pipeline. Can you click on that one? CI/CD. Those are I like those words.
Yeah, continuous integration, continuous delivery.
I don't know if we do this. Can we have a look through it though? Just have a quick look
Yeah, we
through the
can
first.
have a quick boo. Can look at it.
We do this next week. Could I am roll? Yeah. Modify with config map. I don't know what that is, but okay.
Fork sample.
Sample repository. I know what that means.
Oh, that's cool. GitHub
Okay.
access token.
Yeah, I know what that means.
Code
Code
pipeline
pipeline
setup.
setup. I know what that means.
Trigger new release.
New release. Yeah. Okay. So they have a sample app. Okay. Cool.
We can do that next week.
Yeah,
No, I think that's where we're at. We're at beginner. Helms and beginner. So health checks.
I think at this point you can pick and choose the ones you want to do. Like we don't have to
Yeah,
go
this is
through.
a pretty. This is a pretty. I didn't. I honestly thought this was a shorter tutorial, because I thought it would be like this, helm, and then stop. I didn't realize that it was all this stuff. This is really,
Yeah.
really useful. Holy
Oh yeah,
smokes.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. This is like the where to go if somebody asks you, "Hey, can you do this with EKS?"
To figure it out. Yeah, it's really awesome.
Oh,
Okay. Well,
that helms. That's probably the easiest thing I've seen. I don't know if it's because I understand the other stuff,
I
like doc.
yeah. Well, I think it's a combination of having the previously existing knowledge. Well, we'd never get through any of this if we didn't know anything about it, right? And you can, because of your experience, you can explain in more detail what it's doing. Oh, it's doing this, which is nice.
Some of it.
Well, yeah, for sure. Like, but it's just like, I'll call it experienced and educated guessing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know.
So, they're gonna actually. I don't know if this is useful knowledge. I've had to go down a path of learning QMU and KVM, which is like a first virtualization thing.
Yep.
For making cloud images, and I kind of want to teach you how to do it.
Well,
but I don't know if you'll ever need to know how to do it because like AWS has the AMIs. That's all you really need.
Well, the more I learn, the more I know. So, the more experience isn't gonna hurt.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because it's basically the AMIs are, I'm pretty sure, an abstraction of what I'm talking about. It's like their implementation of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. Yeah. And there's also, if you ever get an Ubuntu machine running, there's a thing called Virt Manager, which is like VirtualBox. You've heard of VirtualBox?
Yep.
It's the same as that, but not as heavy.
Yeah, we've got Ubuntu boxes at work doing various things. We're getting like Raspberry Pis and doing various stuff.
I should show you. Show you to impress your boss how to download a cloud image and just run it locally on a server. It's like, yeah, we can just test stuff here. We don't need to do it on EC2. We can test it locally and then put it onto EC2 later.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah,
that sounds like a good idea to me. But I think our Helm recording is done for the week. So next week, I think it would be interesting to go into that CI/CD because the GitHub stuff. Just bounce around in here. We don't have to go in order, obviously.
Yeah, you pick the CI/CD one would be the one that I picked for sure.
Yeah. Oh, we can do that. I'm down for that. If there's other things that like health checks,
doesn't really matter.
I am not that interested in it, to be honest with you. Like I know just because I know it already. But
you have no use for that.
Correct. I know what health checks are. I know why they're good and important. And if it's requested, we can go through it.
So scroll down to the bottom of that beginner thing.
Oh, beginner.
Yeah, just the beginner one. Because there was some stuff in the beginner one that I didn't think was beginner. Advanced VPC networking with EKS. That's in the beginner part.
Windows containers on EKS, securing secrets using sealed secrets, mounting secrets from AWS Secrets Manager. I've just been learning about Secrets Manager, actually. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, Secrets Manager is very useful.
FSX for Lustre, Fargate. It's good. Lots of the stuff I'm interested in just going through, even because if I'm doing if I'm doing a
Oh,
cloud job, I'm obviously not going to go through all these things, but it'd be nice to know.
no, it's one of the core skills in DevOps is paying attention to what you have to learn and learn it quickly.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, makes
Nobody
sense.
can nobody can know everything.
Well, that's one of my special skills is that ability. So
Yeah,
it's
me as well.
lucky for me.
And sticking to it, get to itness and stick to itness.
You know, they determined. Curtis told me about this back in the day when they were testing why students in Japan and China would do better than Americans at math, and they determined over time that it was because the Japanese and Chinese students would spend an average of 26 to 30 minutes on a problem before they gave up, and
Yeah,
the Canadians and Americans would drop off between 8 to 16 minutes.
yeah.
Right, so it's just spending more time on the problem, and this was something that he learned when he was working for IBM, and
Uh-huh.
they mentioned that. So as computer things, just stick with it, and you'll eventually you'll get it. Like
Yeah,
when I was trying to do that thing before we started talking today, I was at it for a while, and I wasn't
yeah.
getting frustrated. I was going, this is weird, kind of, it's kind of a fun puzzle, I guess you could say.
Well, the fix is a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
I went
Well,
to
and also determining that this isn't important, like this,
Yeah,
you know.
that's one of the other key lessons too. Is
Mm,
like you get stuck, you get hyper focused on a problem,
yeah, that's
and
true.
it's like, what were you originally intending to do? What are you trying to accomplish?
Yeah, and
Right?
yeah, it's an important distinction to have that
And
ability.
we all fall into that trap.
Oh
It's
yeah,
easy to fall into when somebody throws a interesting technical problem at you. It's like, no, that's not what we're doing right now.
yeah. This should work.
Yeah,
Why are you fixing it? Because it should work.
but we don't need it.
Yeah, but it should work. I've I've been guilty of that many times.
Yeah.
But
Oh, I have for sure.
yep, it runs in the family. All right, speaking of
All right,
family, I'm going to
everybody.
stop the recording.
Like
Bye,
and subscribe.
everybody. Like and subscribe. Click the notification. Love you. Bye. Thanks for being my friend. Ding,
Oh, yeah.
ding, ding, Cloud Brothers.
Need more
Cloud
friends.
Brothers.